and welcome to Castanet's Meet the Candidate series for the Boundary-Similkameen riding. I'm here virtually with NDP candidate Roly Russell. Roly, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me, Casey.
So to start off, do you want to give me a 15-second intro? Who is Roly Russell?
I've been a champion and an advocate for community for years now, and really I decided to throw my hat in the provincial ring because I wanted to make more positive change for our rural riding.
Mm-hmm. And what is the most important issue facing the people of this riding, and how would you like to address it as an MLA?
Big question, and as I've said before, I don't think we in rural BC really have that luxury to be kind of single issue focused. And I think so for me, the three main kind of pillars of what I think is important to focus on are environmental stewardship and climate action. It is small business kind of revitalization and reducing barriers to really energize our small business economies, including agriculture. And it is very clearly from the conversations that we've had all around the riding is healthcare and delivering a model of healthcare that works for rural BC. I think another piece, very quickly that kind of crosses all those is just making sure we have a strong advocate for the distinction between what works in urban centers versus what we need here on the ground for our communities in rural BC. And there's a lot of differences there that need a rural lens. And, I've got a track record and I'm committed to trying to fight for what we need in rural BC.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel right now the biggest issue is the fact that rural BC doesn't have a big enough voice?
I feel like rural BC doesn't have a large enough voice, and particularly our riding. And so, I think we need an MLA that's willing to step on toes, willing to really fight for what we need here, and willing to continue to knock on doors to make sure that people understand the needs of rural BC are different than the needs of the province as a whole.
Boundary-Similkameen is in some ways like two ridings in one, as the name suggests, with areas in the regional district of Okanagan-Similkameen and of Kootenay Boundary, which you have served on. How do you, as a boundary resident and politician, have the knowledge base to address the needs of the constituents in the South Okanagan as well?
I would challenge you to say it's more like three ridings in one, in the sense that realistically the Similkameen and the Okanagan and the Boundary are all very different kind of culturally. Even within those socioeconomically, you can see that there's differences, significant differences in between those rural communities within those three areas. Large geography is no stranger to me, and I think that that's even one of the kind of silver linings of COVID is that it has really shown us proof of concept that we can deliver engaged consultation, interaction, and decision-making across geographies that historically were a bit of a challenge for us. And so I think that the models are there, the technology is there.
Why do you believe your party made a right call for an election right now, and how does it benefit the residents of your area to be heading to the polls?
At first, I was a little kind of conflicted, trying to decide whether I thought it was the right decision. Now I'm 100% behind it. And I think that it is the right time to, given our position in this pandemic. We know COVID's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. We're still going to have COVID. It's still going to be a challenge for us in 6 months or 12 months. We need to have the people of BC decide who has who they want to put their trust in to lead BC through the next 4 years of recovery. And from my experience, in a much smaller scale, but dealing with a devastating flood crisis here in the Boundary and leading that recovery effort, I know that it relies on a great deal of trust and a great deal of stability to be able to develop a recovery plan that works. Like, that was our lived experience. And so I think it does make sense to do that now. It doesn't make sense to set off on building a recovery plan and then have that potentially be turned on its head in 6 months' time.
Finally, what's one thing you wish voters to know about you?
I guess the one thing would be that people over politics. I'm willing to fight for the people, and even if that gets me in a little bit of trouble.
This has been NDP Roly Russell for Boundary-Similkameen, one of the 4 candidates in the riding.
Thanks, Casey.
Awesome. Thank you, Russell. For Castanet News here, I'm Casey Richardson.